It is the final map, the final countdown, the last game between Finland and Mexico. Starting to the bottom right, the ace player for Mexico, Juanito, Major, the Terran player, taking down Welmu in the last game, starting to the top left, and no surprise there, it is indeed Welmu who is the ace player for his team. So as already assumed earlier and supposed, we have kind of a best of 3 at the end of the day between these two players to find out if Finland or Mexico is going to advance to the round of 8. It's the last map and the last chance, and we're currently on the European server, giving Welmu a slight lead over his opponent there, or a slight advantage. It's still the round of 16, and it's the last game of the day before we are heading into the Nations War match between the Ukraine and Spain. Welmu here to the top left as Protoss, and at the bottom right we have the Terran player. The first map that they played against each other was won by Welmu, and then on the second, Major just a little bit too strong with the early aggression, making that work. So at this point, we already have gas taken, so changing things up a little bit. Not going to be a proxy like you had on Habitation Station. This time it's going to be a gas build. The probe is on the map already, trying to get scouting information. Outboxer is the map, and let's see what the probe is going to scout there. It's probably going to be pretty happy to see the gas in his opponent's main base, already realizing that this is not going to be some sneaky attempt to take him down. Major for Mexico, Welmu for Finland. Who's gonna win that match? It's actually gonna be pretty sick to see how exactly he's gonna... It's gonna be absolutely amazing, I feel, to see how Welmu is gonna do that in terms of tech, and also what Major is gonna do. I feel for both of them playing in this best of 3 series, they have to come up with some kind of solution to this game. We saw a bit of a cheese game by Major in game number 1 that he was able to take. Welmu, on the other hand, in game number 1, fending off the aggression of his opponent and then just gonna go for easy peasy his counter attack. That worked really well for him. So at this point, we already have the SCV going just straight to the top right. That probe is sticking around a little bit longer. We might see a proxy. It looks a little bit like we might see a pylon there, and then maybe a proxy Stargate. That could be one other thing that he's attempting to do, or is he just trying to spare some time and then go straight back into his opponent's main base? It looks a little bit like exactly what he's going to do. Just trying to find out again what's happening in terms of expansion, if there is one. Making sure that that Reaper is already out of sight. I'm not going to take that down. And the Zealot down here is making sure that this particular SCV is not going to drop engineering bay for the block. SCV already, we could actually start to attack the SCV there, the probe that is, and that's exactly what he does. Starting to take that out, and of course another 2 SCVs already on the way to the low ground. That's mining time lost on the other hand, and that works out for him. Needs to move back here. On the other hand, starting to the top, we have the Reaper with a kill, getting 1 probe down already. Nice, well done. And the SCV or the probe, well, the SCVs for now have chased the probe away. Probe gets into the main base, gets a good look at the second barracks and the engineering bay for the early +1 attack upgrade that he has there. The Reaper still trying to find an opportunity to get another kill. Not just there yet, especially of course with the Nexus currently being built and not really the minerals being saturated. But getting into the main base, pretty nice Sim City that he has there, but he needs to use his micro to really get away from the Reaper, and of course the Mothership Core and the Zealot moving into the main base again to chase that Reaper off. A bit of a nuisance there at the beginning. Not really too much of a big deal, but that 1 probe kill is of course already quite something, making it worth already to go into the Reaper build there. +1 attack upgrade is on the way, and for, well, what we have for Finland, the robotics facility being built. On the low ground, still trying to be active with the Reaper, but now that the Nexus is done, Photon Overcharge is always an option, and we have additional probes being built for him already. There comes the tech straight into the warp gate research that he of course needs. 1 Marine over here, just having a quick look at this, maybe a proxy balance somewhere. Reaper still alive, still trying to get another glimpse into the main base to see the additional attack, but hasn't really seen anything just yet. Hasn't seen that Robo either, so he doesn't know about it, but of course he has to assume that something is going to happen that at least gives his opponent the chance of spotting invisible units, and usually the Robo attack for Welmu is something like we saw already in the first game, so you can assume this is going to be what's going to go on there as well. So right now we have to the bottom right of the map, Double Mule already called down with the orbital tech done at the natural. The well, the +1 attack upgrade is soon to be done. Stim has started, and we see the transition straight into the factory to get the starport out there and the medivacs. Reaper at the front still saying hello. Harvester count currently 36 against 30. So a little bit of lead for the Protoss player, as to be expected with the chrono boosts. When we have this tech already up with the robotics bay. And well, this time the Reaper is going to see the robo. But it's also going to die for the information. So he knows there's a robo, he's going to assume that there's a robotics tech as well for the robotics bay, but all the way back at home we have now the Marines starting to move out. The problem really, if you want to go for something like this, is that you usually can't achieve too much without the medivacs there to lift you into the main base, because the mothership core with a single photon overcharge can make that work and can use the defense there. The thing is that the mothership core is in a really good spot. Sometimes the mothership core, you will see it right over there, and if you don't pay attention, the Marines walk in, snipe it, and then you kind of lose the game immediately. The double fortune in the main base now really showing that Melmu wants to go into the long game here, that he wants to really go for the double upgrades against his opponent. Observer spots those already, and bam, immediately the photon overcharge, and Melmu just basically just saying, get the fuck out of my base. And Major is happy to oblige there, wanted to bait the photon overcharge out there anyways, nothing more than that, just having a little bit of a look if he can kill something. And the first Colossus is of course also on the way with a range upgrade, and that will help him additionally against the Marines of his opponent. Major now with a +1 armor upgrade, double upgrades already started for Wellmove, 4 additional gateways. Could actually push out with the first initial Colossi, with the first 2 maybe, and try to put some pressure onto his opponent, at least for the start, and then just recall back if need be. There are no Vikings at this point. Goes for the medivacs first, the medivacs of course then allowing him to drop in his opponent's main base. And well, in the main base we have actually quite a lot of pylons also saving those gateways with energy. Pretty smart. There's the third base already for Major, and that's of course one of the things that's going to be a little bit exposed to aggression by Wellmu. And there are the medivacs. Medivacs going straight for it, so now he can start to drop a little bit and keep his opponent busy. You can see the Twilight Council for blink, charge, and of course most important of all, the +2/+2 upgrades that he's going to try and get here. Another Marine down here waiting for a Warp Prism to see if maybe also a pylon has been spotted there. And we see the hallucinated Phoenix moving out, having a quick look of that army that moves cross map. Range upgrade is going to be done. The +1/+1 is completed for Major, whereas Wellmu needs a little bit more time for that to complete. Third base has been spotted as well by Wellmu. Knows exactly what he's up against. Colossus number 1 with a range upgrade about to be, yes, that's going to be ready just in time, and the 1/1 upgrades actually should be ready too, if he can delay that for just another couple of seconds, and I think that's not going to be a big problem for him. The Harvester count right now 50 against 50, with a double Viking being built, and also another Starport. Wants to have the quadruple Viking production, makes it also a little bit easier to keep your medivac count up while you are trying to get Vikings into the picture against your opponent's Colossi. +2/+2 on the way for Wellmu, so he's going to take a bit of a lead in the upgrades as soon as those are completed. And well, we also have now, with the blink upgrade, the opportunity to just blink forward to take down the Vikings. If you're actually able to pressure the Vikings and take those out, that's the best thing for a Protoss player that can possibly happen, since then you can save your Colossi and really do damage with those. We have double Widow Mine in that dropship over here. It's going to be spotted pretty soon. The question is, can you react again in time? He's not going to do that without moving in first. Scans over and over for Major to make sure that he can take down his opponent's observers. He killed 3 already. Reminds me a little bit of Creator. At this point, medivacs in the main base, and there's the double drop immediately. Yes, takes down 1. 2 kills, 3 kills on the Widow Mine. Yeah, can't really take down this one. Could actually move the Zealot over there and just attack that spot. That would already take it down. But I guess he just moves back or waits for the Observer to get into the game. And well, the Observer actually moving down for a second. Now moving up. It's time for the Widow Mine to die. But still, there's the third base for Major. He still has that third base that he can use here. And we have now 2/2 on the way against the second attack upgrade only for Major. Harvester count 65 against 49. Wellmu with the third base attempt as well. Looking at the army supply, we currently see that Wellmu has a bit of a lead there. And already triple Colossi, getting a 4th one against the Viking count of 7, soon to be 11. Whoa, nice snipe, and good cancel as well. Canceling that just in time, but oh! Those boys have a bit of a problem at their hands, and that's called blink. Blinking in again, taking down just a few of them. Might be able to go for another one. No, not quite. Down here, what did we see there? Actually, he didn't lose anything. Okay, it was probably a hallucinated Phoenix that he had there. It was something, some blue dot. I was for a second wondering if I missed the Warp Prism, but nope, that's not the case. So it was just a hallucinated Phoenix that had a quick look there. The army moving in right now. We already talked about the army supply a little bit. It's currently in favor of Wellmu with 87 against 77. in terms of upgrades, we have 2-2 against 2-1. And how can the Vikings take this down? 3 Colossi against 11 Vikings. If the 20 Stalkers are able to take down his opponent's Vikings, then it's going to be a pretty brutal battle for Major. There we go already. The first Colossus is down. There's the blink that we talked about. Nice force fields to shield the Stalkers, at least for now. Great EMPs on the other hand by Major. Whelmu drops down in supply significantly. And Viking after Viking is being eliminated here, but that doesn't matter anymore because the entire Colossi force is already gone. And the rest of the ground army for the Protoss player is just getting completely hammered here. I mean, that's 84 army supply at this point for Major and only 30 army supply for Whelmu. Another Colossus goes down, 3 bases against 2. Whelmu is getting pummeled into the ground here. Finland is shedding the first few tears watching this game. Resources lost, 8,000 against 4,600, and Major is in a great position. I mean, resources lost if you just look at what was killed here. 23 harvesters, but still the harvester count identical for the 2 of them. And with 3 bases and triple mule, we all know how that economy is going to look like in just a few seconds. A bit of a snipe with a very agile Stalkers thanks to the blink upgrade here. But this base that Whelmu is currently trying to establish is not going to survive this aggression. That's 98, 100 army supply against 50. He's doubling it, and there's going to be another cancel. There's no doubt about that. There's not even a Colossus in the game. There are no storms. There's nothing. He's just trying to somehow stay alive, but losing the mothership core as well. The photon overcharge dropped in the last second, buying him maybe a little bit more time. But yes, Major's just moving in. He's not giving a shit about that. He's moving in, trying to win this game. And Whelmu, he's doing whatever he can to go strong against this army. But in the end, there's way too much army supply for his opponent. Even the Immortal cannot change that. The stutter step to victory for Major. The GG, and Mexico wins it with a 3-2. Major winning on the European server after he took Whelmu down already on North America. And it is indeed the 4-3 victory for Mexico. They advance to the round of 8, and Finland is out of the tournament.